Hi, I'm going to show you how to merge data from a spreadsheet that looks like this using InDesign into artwork that looks like this. That spreadsheet has created that center panel of information, and the first place you start to do this is in a spreadsheet program, OpenOffice or Excel or something like that. Along the top row, the very top row, when you merge your data into InDesign, those are going to be the tag names. So the top row won't merge as data, it's just tag names within InDesign. It can be a little tricky to get your spreadsheet right, so you need to spend some time in there. You can't ignore the database before you do the data merge. A couple of little tricks to do is scroll down to the end, right down to the bottom using the scroll bar, and find out how many rows of data you've got. This says 828. And we're not actually using the top row, as I said, so it's 827 rows of data. I find it handy to write that down so you always know what you're up to. Another really important thing to know is which are the rows of data that have the most information in one column. So here, for example, in row 6, I've got a person named Dr. Blundell, and over on column E, that's quite a long amount of text in the column. A really good trick with any spreadsheet program is look here over on column B and C, I'm shrinking those down. If a column is shrunk smaller than the text that's in it, a good trick is just to hover the cursor right between the columns and double click. What that does is it snaps that column out to its longest amount of information that's in the whole column. So I just did that to row C, now I'll do column C, now I'll do column B, double click, and it pops out. Then what you do is take the scroll bar and scroll down looking in that column to find the longest rows of data. So I'm looking in row C, and I think that's probably it there. Row 76, which is actually 75, and the name is Turner Bainbridge. So I'm going to write down row 75. And I'm going to remember that name, Turner Bainbridge. And when we do our data merge, I'll check all those longest amounts of information to make sure they're not breaking. It's good to know what they are. So also column B, I'll do this for every column, write down which is the longest amount of information in there. And that looks like it there, 657. So I have a little list of numbers for each column, so I'll check that later. An important thing to know with merging data is that a cell with a couple of spaces in it can't be seen, but will still data merge. So if I put the cursor here and I put a space, sorry, not an N, a space, and then press enter, that will actually merge another row of data. If you've got a client supplying you with your spreadsheets, you don't know what they've done really and if they've set the database up correctly. So I usually highlight a lot of rows down below that and hit delete, and I just delete whatever might have been there, just empty spaces and things. That just cleans off the database and makes sure that your last row is the last row that you want. You don't have any other ghost rows. Keeping in mind, up here in the database, amongst the information, the same thing can be true. There might be spaces in these and you don't really know, so you've got to watch out for that at the end. One interesting problem that presents itself with this database is over here on the left in column 1, this client supplied a database with a title column. So column A is called title, I believe. And then some people have a title and some people don't. The title and the first name and the last name will all be merged to one line in our database. And where we have no title, it leaves a little space there, which means that the first names of those people and the first names of the other people don't line up. It makes the label look wrong, the typesetting look wrong. So I'll show you a trick I just figured out. It's quite a difficult one to remove those empty field hidden characters within InDesign. So once you think you're happy with your database, what you need to do is save it as a .csv file. So go to File, Save As, or however you like to save your files, clicking on the Save button, or File, Save As is the best way to do it. Then in your filing system, just find where I am here, put it in your links folder, and now down at the bottom where you change things to file type, look for .csv. CSV stands for comma separated value, and it'll strip the database of all formatting and colors and things that aren't needed by InDesign. So you want to save that as a .csv. I've already saved it, so I'm not going to save over that again. And then you're ready to go into InDesign and start preparing for the data merge.